All right, so welcome back to the Loft. This is episode 25. I'm here with Kenny. How are you, dude?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. Good to meet you. Good to finally meet you. Good to see you. I was excited because you commented on one of my Loft posts. So I checked you out, and then I saw what you were about and what you represent, and I was like, oh, well, this is different. This is cool. Like, I want to learn more about you and have you on and talk about, you're a big LGBTQ advocate for the community and stuff like that. And I just think it would be really cool to hear your story and have like my listeners hear your story as well. Because I definitely, doing my research, I definitely could tell in the beginning it might have been a little rough for you. Like kind of just like being yourself and trying to show the world that.
So I guess I could start with like growing up. Growing up, I played a lot of sports and I was really into like basketball, baseball, football, wrestling, soccer, every sport you could think of. Yeah. And then, my dad, I had like a very, I guess, typical like macho dad. So I kind of felt a little pressure to play a lot of the sports. But I noticed when I was playing the sports, I never cared about the sports. Like I would hit a home run and I would just be like,
you're like, all right, whatever.
Whatever, yeah. I just didn't care.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of weird. But at the time, I didn't know like why I didn't respond to like things that typical boys would respond to if they hit like a home run. I don't know.
Right.
So I guess you can like kind of fast forward to high school. So I guess I was a little bit more on like the feminine side, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Or more fragile side. I guess you could call it softer.
Right.
So there was always rumors and stuff. And then I would quickly debunk the rumors, obviously, because I was like still in the closet and kind of stuff.
Right.
So I didn't want people kind of just like bullying me and attacking me. So then if you moved to college, that's when I decided to kind of be myself because I felt like that was my opportunity to kind of like not live for my parents. That was my opportunity to live for myself because now I'm 2-3 hours away from home. Right. I can do me. I can do what I want, and I don't have anyone to answer to. So
yeah, and I think it's really cool. Yeah, because you became a really big LGBTQ advocate, and just like you studied this criminal justice at DeSales, right? And yeah, I could imagine just want to get away from your family and want to get away from the pressure of having to be somebody that you may not feel like you are. That's something that I would struggle with sometimes too. Like when a parent wants you to be a certain person, and you're like, all right, like I want to do this with my life instead of what you typical 9 to 5 or whatever you want me to do, like, so I can kind of relate in that way. And it seemed like it really paid off for you. When did you decide to come out to your family? And
so I guess I never really came out, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Well, I kind of did, but I didn't. It wasn't by choice. So sophomore year, I started. So freshman year, I was like kind of in the closet like all of freshman year. But like I started telling like some of my girlfriends because I didn't want to go into freshman year being like the gay boy. Because I didn't know like my roommates and I just didn't want the guys in the school to kind of just be like
judgmental and stuff. Yeah.
I wanted them to like get to know me first and then make their judgments after. So because at the time I was still kind of dressing like a typical boy, I would say like very like PacSun. That was like my style. Very PacSun, very like hipster.
Yeah, okay.
I was into that stuff then. Yeah. So I was like very like that. And I was just nervous about like going there and then having like my roommates like judge me and stuff. But they wind up being really, really cool. But I didn't wind up telling them until sophomore year, like the beginning of sophomore year. So I told all my girlfriends like freshman year because they all were just like, you're definitely gay, like I know it, like
they gotta just tell.
Yeah, so it was just like a thing all freshman year. So I finally like I guess got the balls to tell everyone sophomore year, at least like my friends. And then I started I guess getting online, and then my parents saw a post online because I wind up texting my brother like, OMG, like look at this post or something. And I said I meant to say don't show my parents, but I said do show my parents.
Oh, so he ended up
so he showed my parents.
Damn.
And yeah, they didn't talk to me for like a week or two, and then all of a sudden I got like a call from my dad, and he was like, hey, like what's up? And I'm like, nothing, but I knew like obviously what it was about.
So talk a little bit about what you went through before that, but like because I can only imagine the anxiety you may have, and because a real inspiration I've had to want to even have you on is someone in my neighborhood recently came out, and I remember he was super, super scared of like what his dad would think or his family would think. And it's so like, I'm so proud of him because when he did finally come out, you know, got a boyfriend. He has like the most friends he's ever had. You can just tell like when someone's themselves and they start glowing. You know what I mean? So it's like really nice to see. And you know, so what were you going through before that entire thing kind of happened?
Whoa. So before that, I felt like I was living a lie, and I felt like some days I didn't want to wake up. It sounds so weird. Like I just didn't want to like wake up because I felt like I wasn't being true to myself in a weird way. I just felt like I was living for other people. Right. And me being who I am now, it's sad to look back and think about that because I'm someone who's like, I don't want to be 80 years old and look back like, oh, I missed this opportunity because I was worried about so-and-so, or I missed this because of this, and that. Like, so it was just a very depressing time. I remember being just so irritable and just angry about everything. And any little thing could set me off. Okay. So I was just like always on edge.
Yeah, you weren't yourself.
I wasn't myself.
When did this happen? When did you officially like come out to your friends and stuff?
So I was freshman year to my girlfriend, sophomore year to like everyone. Yeah, it was like everyone sophomore year. And then I remember like online, I wasn't really coming out online, but like I guess it kind of plays into makeup too, because that had a huge, that came into play a lot. So I started wearing makeup, but when I first got into makeup, it was very natural. So like you wouldn't be able to tell, I guess you could say. It was just like, wow, his skin's like really good. Yeah. Because I didn't want like the guys to know that I was wearing makeup. Right. So like that's how it kind of started. And then I don't know, I just started getting more comfortable wearing it, and then it got to the point where it was like obvious that I was wearing makeup. Right, yeah. And then I just started posting pictures online and stuff. So then I was like kind of me coming out online, I guess you could say. And then I kind of just like started living in my truth. But I noticed that I started kind of posting like little hints in my captions and stuff, just like using like very girly songs, just like stuff that like I probably wouldn't do before.
So it sounds like you just kind of started being yourself, like unapologetically, and you know, and whatever happened after that kind of happened. Yeah, and I mean, I did some research on you're pretty talented at makeup, and you know, the makeup community and the beauty community is really big, and I noticed a lot of guys are in that community, like the James Charles, and obviously, you know, he's canceled now, but you know. But like, no, it's just really fascinating to me, and I think it's a really special talent that you have, and I even saw, you know, you're on the Good Morning America inspiration list of 2021, correct? And that's amazing. So talk a little bit about that. How did that come about?
So I just woke up and I checked my emails because I don't know, sometimes my emails just get too crazy. So I'm actually looking for an assistant right now.
Okay. If anyone wants to be an assistant for Kenny, Screven.
Slide into my DMs.
Slide into his DMs and get a job.
Yeah, because it's just getting ridiculous. But I was super surprised because I was on Forbes too, which was weird. It's just weird when all this happens because I'm just like, why me?
How'd that come about? Like, was it just like where did the growth come from? Because for people who don't know, I mean, he's a pretty big 120-something K on Instagram. You're an influencer, so you consider yourself a beauty influencer, right? Yeah. That's okay. So where did that growth come from?
So I would definitely say start off with the makeup, and then at the time, because I feel like I've been on the internet for a while at this point. Okay. Probably 2015, which I don't know if that's that long, but like more than 5 years.
That's crazy. That 2015 is 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Yeah. That's ridiculous. Yeah.
So that's when I started doing makeup, and then I was on like a reality show. Yeah. Which I'm not going to talk much about that for legal reasons. Yeah. But
What am I allowed to ask what show it was, or?
Probably not.
Okay. Because you know, I'm not gonna lie. Like when I was like looking you up and stuff, I was like, "What show was he on? Like, what show was he talking about? Like in your videos and stuff?" And I'm like, I can never find.
There are some clips on my Instagram if you like look down. There's a reason I can't talk about it. But
no worries.
Yeah. So I think that kind of spiked it because I started talking about my journey throughout it, but
on YouTube and Instagram. Or? Okay.
And then I also have my best friend's famous, which I'm not sure if you guys know about her, Gabby Dimartino. I did see you're friends with her. I didn't know much about her. She's from Pennsylvania, right? Okay. That's so
cool.
We met in college. So we actually went to DeSales.
Okay.
So yeah.
Where did her growth come from? How'd she get?
YouTube.
Really? That's pretty cool. That's awesome. I mean, yeah, I see some of my friends have gotten big on YouTube just from like music and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to see that. And when did she start getting big? Was it like freshman year, sophomore year?
Yeah, I would probably say then. Yeah.
What would she post? Just like beauty videos too?
Yeah.
Or? That's
a lot of that. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
So for me, it was more like being a boy that did it. Because there wasn't a lot of that. And then on top of being like a black boy that did it, there's definitely not a lot of that.
Well, it's definitely unique. And I mean, at this, you can carve your own path, which I think is pretty cool. So do you have any like inspirations that you have?
It's funny that you mentioned that. No. So actually, well, now I guess a little bit more, but growing up, I didn't have any. So I didn't think this could even be like a career or job or anything. Right. I thought there was only like a couple jobs I could do.
Yeah, it wasn't realistic a few years ago.
Yeah, hence my major in college, criminal justice.
Yeah.
I'm never going to use that. But anyways, yeah, I just never thought this could be like a career or job or anything like that. But it's paying off now, which I love.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, I think it pays off that you finally realized that you should be yourself. And I think that's something that I wanted to definitely touch on in this episode is like just the importance of taking that leap and like wanting to be yourself, because I feel like so many people are scared to, take that leap and want to be themselves and want to go for something that they have. Because if somebody has a goal and they feel like it's unreachable, it's like, there's a perfect example right here. I have them on my set. So it's like, you know what I mean? So I think that'd be really huge, especially. And also too, like, I mean, it sounds like your story for, your coming out story was pretty just simple and just kind of like, hey, this is me, like, so. Yeah,
it was simple. And the fact, like, it was simple online. I would say I did get a lot of hate in the beginning, but I feel like low-key that's what kept me going, because I had a lot of supporters. So it was a lot of, like,
but, like,
back and forth, which that's always a good thing if people are talking about you.
For sure.
So I didn't mind.
Yeah, yep.
It would be upsetting at first, but then I would have supporters, so then it was like, whatever. Yeah. But I feel like the hardest part for me was, like, the family drama. So, like, the family issues was hard.
That's always the worst.
That I'm just getting over, like, within the last year or two. So that's all, like, recent.
So are you close to your family at this point, or is this... Okay.
As of recently, yeah. But for a while, I wasn't.
Right.
So even through, like, all the success and stuff online, I still was, like, dealing with, like, all the family issues. So it was just like really annoying.
How were you able to cope with that?
Honestly, just like the support from online. Like, I feel like, which kind of sucks because I feel bad for like people that may not have the same support, like how they may deal with that. Because I'm just like, that was like pretty much one of the few things that kept me going, honestly. And my friends really helped me. And just like, honestly, my guy friends really helped me too, because I felt like having their support, because once I like came out and I was wearing makeup and stuff, they were just like, we got your back at the bar, so let me know if anyone messes. Awesome. Like, that helped me so much. Like,
yeah. And you have you had any struggles with that?
No, it's weird. No,
that's awesome.
I've never had any bad experiences, but I don't know. Now I'm a little bit more nervous just because the world's been a little crazy. But at least when I was going out a lot back then, I had no experience.
That's good.
I can't name one bad.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Which is weird.
I mean, I hope more people start to accept that type of stuff, because like that's the reason why I had you on. Like that's my viewpoint. Like, I just believe like just to be whoever you want to be. Like, yeah, if you have something to say about it, then that's just on you. So you have a lot of haters on like Instagram and like YouTube, like comments and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd you cope with that?
Honestly, I just posted another hot pic. Like, honestly,
you just flexed on it even harder.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so, what's the community look like, the LGBT? Like, so how'd you get involved with that?
So actually, I run a support group. It's called House of Shades, and that's like in the Lehigh Valley area.
Okay, cool.
And we like to throw events and parties just for like the 21 plus population, and it's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. And I felt like I really wanted to get involved with that because I wish I had something like that when I was like figuring it all out.
Right. Yeah.
Because, yeah, there's not enough of that either in this area. I feel like a lot of times you have to travel to like New York or like even Philly.
They're like in like South Philly.
Not in my area.
Okay, like not in the Lehigh.
Yeah.
Yeah. You come down to Philly a lot for stuff like that. Like there are a lot of events that go on.
So I feel like I do come to Philly a decent amount, sometimes for business, but I feel like I go to New York more. But I have been thinking about moving to Philly or New York, but I feel like New York's just a little too crazy for me. Yeah. I think I'd get out of control. So.
Okay. What's your scene? Just like, are you like more low key?
So this is a hard question.
Yeah.
So I've been low key lately, but I feel like that might just because that's only because of the craziness in the world. I don't want to be a target because I do feel like I could be an easy target now.
Right, for sure.
Even though I haven't had any bad experiences, that does scare me because I'm like,
well,
you know what I mean? Like, I'm waiting for it to happen almost.
You're somewhat aware, yeah.
So I have been going out a lot less, but I was a bit of a party boy. I used to go out a lot.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's why New York would be a little crazy for me because I think it just takes one couple rough nights and then I'll be back.
Right.
To my old ways.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll take it. Yeah. Whatever happens, right? I mean, so when you were going through, because I can imagine it was pretty stressful and a lot of anxiety, struggling with everything you were going through. What steps did you take to kind of deal with that or help ease your anxiety and stuff like that?
Honestly, music really helped.
Okay.
So I listened to a lot of like Beyonce, like a lot of like bad bitch music. Like, truthfully,
that's
like
awesome.
I'm not kidding. I
That's
can't do
awesome.
sad music. Like I couldn't do it. Like I know a lot of people like to kind of just like dwell in their sorrow. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like I constantly need to be listening to Bad Bitch, Sweetie.
Okay.
Like let's go.
Yeah.
Because that'll like get me excited. I
Cardi
want to
B.
get glam. Yeah. Like
okay, that's awesome. Yeah.
so music, it'll totally change my music around. I mean my
your
mood around.
Yeah.
Or honestly, going out, friends for sure.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I'm all about good vibes because I'm very affected by vibes. So if I'm having a bad time, like,
you make it known.
Yeah.
You wear hard in your sleep a little bit. Yeah.
So if I'm not in a good mood, I won't go out because I just know I'm gonna be irritable and
Yeah. So for the people, I can imagine, like I said, like there's probably so many people who are just not comfortable in their skin. What could you tell them? To somebody who may not be comfortable in their skin and that's something that they're struggling with right now?
I say you have one life to live. Why live it for someone else? That's how I just feel. Like, at the end of the day, you're going to die alone and you're going to be in that casket alone. Yeah. So why care about what someone else is going to say?
Right, yeah, that's true. And
that's really how I feel.
Yeah, and it sounds like you kind of just, you took the step and you just kind of, whatever happened after that, just kind of kept going. That's awesome, though, man. Yeah, and I also want to talk a little about YouTube as well. So you said you haven't been posting as much on it? No. But you said you're more on the beauty side, right?
Yeah, I would say beauty, mental health, like kind of my journey, honestly. Just like what I've been up to.
That's pretty cool. And a little bit about your, how's the influencer community? So have you been linking up with a lot of people in like LA or anything at all? Or you kind of just staying in the Lehigh?
So I definitely know a lot of people, but I feel like a lot of them are like all over.
Yeah.
And it's hard being friends with influencers sometimes because it's like they have their own stuff going on, you know what I mean? So it could be really hard.
Your friend Gabby has a busy schedule, I'm sure, right?
We're really close though. We live like super close. So like we hang out a lot, but like everyone outside of like Gabby and Nikki, it's really hard because they're in like LA or New York. So I could go meet up with them in New York, but it's hard to build like super, I guess, genuine relationships too, because a lot of people just want to gain from you.
It's transactional.
Yeah. So I've hated that.
Speaking of New York, you were in New York Fashion Week, right?
How was Not that? This year,
but 2019, I guess it was.
Yeah, probably 2019.
How was that experience?
Really fun. I love New York Fashion Week.
That's awesome.
I want to go this year for sure.
That's
if there even is one. I think there is, but yeah.
Can you just show up? You just buy tickets, or you have to get
Usually
invited?
you get invited. Yeah. Okay. You can buy tickets, but I just like to get invited.
That's pretty cool. Being an influencer, what kind of perks have there been, and what have you been able to do with that? So
I would say perks has been traveling, PR packages for sure. Well, that's probably not all influencers. Maybe because I'm just on the beauty side, I get a lot of like free stuff.
Right.
Which it can be a lot sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
You start to kind of just be like,
a little overwhelmed.
Okay,
yeah.
You know what
have you been able to collab with a lot of cool beauty influencers? Isn't there one Jacqueline? What's her
Hill?
Hill. Yeah. Have you tried to collab with her at all?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So you haven't collaborated really with like many?
No. Because I feel like beauty influencers, it's not really... Honestly, I think the community's dead right now, if you want my honest opinion. So I'm kind of steering away from the beauty community.
Okay.
I'm kind of just doing me, and I feel like me just being me is enough to like...
Yeah, just do your thing.
Yeah.
What are you planning on? What's planned for you in the future?
So, honestly, that's a really good question.
Mm.
I've been doing a lot of thinking about that, but now, honestly, I'm really into like the whole LGBT advocacy right now.
Okay.
And I really want to just take like the House of Shades group to like the next level.
That's awesome.
And push that to the forefront because I really enjoy that. But I also kind of want to collab more. I definitely want to collab more. Yeah. Not with like influencers so much, but with more brands. Because I do collab with a lot of brands. But I want to be on like, you know, magazine covers.
That'd be cool.
I guess that's happened before. But like
Vogue and stuff.
Yeah, you know, just
that'd be cool. Yeah.
Take everything to the next level.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
And actually I want to get into modeling.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. You could definitely find some around here, I'm sure. Well, New York's probably best, sadly to say, but New York's probably the move. And I think you could definitely trailblaze that, especially with like just with who you are, like a you know, I guess like African American could be like something different that many people haven't seen before, which I think you should definitely take pride in, which I think you do. But like, you know, stuff like that. But also too, do you have advice for people who may want to become an influencer, and maybe people who feel like, you know, maybe the 9-to-5 or the criminal justice major isn't for me or anything like that? Like anything you've like went through that you can definitely help with, like to help teach people who may want to become an influencer?
Honestly, I would say consistency is important. I still struggle with that.
Yeah.
And keeping your audience engaged, even if you start off like smaller and you might not see like any numbers right away. I feel like just like connecting with one person a day or 2 people a day, eventually it just grows. You know what I mean? And try to respond to comments and stuff because that's someone watching, you know?
That's like your fan base.
Exactly.
That you're building. Yeah.
And I struggled a lot with that. I think last year. Yeah, it was last year. I was like super depressed. I just like didn't care about posting. And honestly, I was just posting to post, or like I was posting for brand deals and stuff. And like you can tell, like your audience can tell when you're posting just to like get a check.
Just get something out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I gained like a lot of weight and I was just like not feeling it. So I was just like posting to post at this point.
Okay.
But now I'm finally posting because I like want to post, you know?
That's good.
And I'm just.
So you mentioned that, you were depressed. So what were you going through during that?
Honestly, just the weight gain and like the pressure of like looking good 24/7.
Okay.
I know that sounds stupid, but like it can be really hard, like especially when you're kind of like, because you're almost like exploiting yourself to the world in a weird way. You always have like people watching you and like you feel the pressure to post 24/7, especially when you're someone who is like consistently posting. Like I used to post a lot, and then all of a sudden I went through a phase where I just like wasn't feeling hot. I wasn't feeling attractive. I gained like 50 pounds. Like I just wasn't feeling good. And I didn't look like myself anymore. So I didn't like posting.
Did you feel like there was pressure you have?
Because it's like if you don't post, then you lose your audience or you lose followers, which I did literally. So that was kind of sad. But honestly, I'm just going to put myself first at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're not. If they're going to unfollow you because you haven't posted in a little bit, then they're, you know.
Exactly. And that's, I said, bye, like literally. Like.
Yeah, I mean, so, yeah, because I know, you know, even you being a male, like, but in the beauty industry, like, being beautiful and the pressures of being beautiful still apply. Like, you know, so, and I know a lot of people who I know who struggle with being beautiful. Where do you think beauty comes from?
Honestly, I think from within. I know that sounds like cliche, but truthfully. But it's, I guess I sound like a hypocrite saying that, because even though I felt not the best then because of my exterior, I couldn't find it within, you know?
Right, but that's where you become okay, you know, with everything. You know, my personal opinion, like, beauty, you know, when I look for, like, a girl or something, a girlfriend, like, you know, it's like, what do I look for? Obviously, you want to be attracted to them, but, like, the kind of person they are is super big to me. Like, what you have, what you're striving for, what your goals are, I think that all comes from within. And, like, the people who struggle with that, I feel like they should know, like, you know, it's super important to realize that the right person is going to find you. And, you know, and I don't know if that's something you may have struggled with, you know, because I know, you know, it's more common now because more people are getting comfortable with coming out. But is that something you struggled with? Like finding a partner? I know you're in a relationship now, which is nice. Congratulations.
Honestly, it depends what you mean. Because, like, as far as, like, hookup culture goes, no. But, like, dating, yeah.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
So I felt like I would have people that would like want to hook up, some people that like wouldn't date me.
Okay.
Also, because I was online, so it was like I was public.
Yeah.
Or I would have people that would only date me for that. Okay. So it was just like.
Yeah, well, people, someone to get something out of you.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the worst.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you listen to podcasts at all? Is there anything like besides music that you use to kind of help with anxiety or anything like that?
No, but I'll stumble upon them. You know what I mean? Like it kind of just depends on like what I'm looking for. Okay. But I don't like listen to a specific person, I guess you could say. But if I'm looking for that topic and they seem interesting, I'll click.
Okay. Who are your like favorite influencers or people online?
So I like Billy Porter. He's fun. He's from the show Pose. Who else do I like online? Honestly, it's hard because I'm not really on YouTube much either. So I don't even watch YouTube at all anymore. I can't tell you the last time I clicked open the app.
That's crazy. I'm literally the complete opposite. I'm on YouTube every single day. Like I don't even watch TV anymore. I'm always on YouTube.
Wow. I used to be on it a lot, but I just feel like I don't know. Maybe I'm just like bored right now with my community. You know what? I feel like it depends on what you watch. But truthfully,
I think you should try to revamp the community.
Yeah, you're right.
Spark something, you know.
I did post a video like last week, so I guess that's a start.
That's a start.
So I'll post, but like
it's very like whenever I feel like it. Yeah.
But as far as like the people that post on there, I've been like, I don't know, because I feel like the beauty community has just been like very drama filled. Like I'm not sure if you know anything about like Jeffree Star, James. Like it's they all just been like very drama.
Did some I know a little bit about. I know Jeffree Star is absolutely loaded. Mm-hmm. And I know James Charles is a predator, but like to be honest with you, but like I don't know. Do you want to? Speaking of Jeffree Star and James Charles, do you have a plan to release your own beauty products in the future?
So that would be like my end all be all dream. Okay, I would say, maybe not dream. No, I would like that. I think that would be like
a goal you have.
Yeah, that's definitely a goal of mine for sure. Have I been working toward it? No, but
yeah. I mean, you can.
I guess I have been technically.
I mean, you could just little steps here and there, you know, and it sounds like you definitely have the resources for that, you know. But yeah, I really want to talk about too, just the whole aspect of people who are just afraid to be themselves and who are afraid to come out. So when did you realize that you felt like you were not who you really wanted to be? Like when did you feel like you were like you had enough?
Probably. Well, honestly, for a while, I feel like I can't speak for everyone, but I feel like there's always like this phase of like, am I not? Am I not? Because you don't know. So it's not like I've like never hooked up with a girl or any of that. So I'm like what do you call it? There's like a word I forget that like gay people call it.
You never experimented with girls
so
and
like
stuff.
I don't know, I've like kissed a girl and like not make out, but so I've never like done anything like that. So it's not like I experienced a girl and then like was like, oh, not for me, you know what I mean? Right. So I just didn't experience that.
Right.
And I never really wanted to, and I always looked at them as like, oh, you're pretty. But for a while it was more so like, oh, are you pretty or am I like attracted to you? So I didn't know if I was like thinking it that way or if I was thinking it the wrong way for a while. Then I was like, no, I think I just think they're pretty. Like they're cute. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like on a friend basis. Was that something you struggled with in high school too?
Yeah, that was like pretty much high school. Like that was like definitely high school. Like all of high school it was like, you're pretty. But like, do I think you're hot? Like I don't know. It was like that weird like
to you?
Yeah, because I feel like that was like puberty and all that stuff. So I felt like
I
was really trying to figure it out then. And then I felt like the only reason I came out freshman year, to my girlfriend's freshman year, was because I had like an experience like the end of my senior year of high school. Like it was pretty much summer going into senior year. I mean summer going into freshman year of college. Okay. So that kind of, I was like, okay.
And something triggered that.
Yeah. So like, then I knew.
Right. Okay.
And then I was like, okay.
was that like liberating? Was it a good feeling that, or were you like still confused, do you think?
No, I kind of knew, but it was like kind of shitty because it was like one of my friends. So then it was like annoying because then it was just like weird after.
Yeah.
Not on my end, but on their end, kind of.
Yeah, okay.
But then it wasn't again. It was just weird. Yeah. So,
yeah. So how was it when you came out to your family and to your friends basically? how was that that initial feeling of like I just posted a picture of me in makeup? Like how like realize
scary probably. Yeah. Definitely scary because I started off natural. So like people probably didn't. And honestly, before I started wearing makeup, probably looked like I was wearing makeup because I was editing my pictures so much.
Okay. Yeah.
With, like, Facetune and stuff.
Right. So, yeah. I feel like a lot of influencers, a lot of people, I know a lot of people use Facetune and stuff like that, but there's nothing wrong with that.
So I was like airbrushing it though, like crazy. And this was like 5-6 years ago.
That looks like makeup.
Yeah, exactly.
Airbrush looks like makeup.
So people probably didn't know I was wearing it then. They probably were just like, damn, he edits his pictures a lot.
Right. Okay.
Which is why I even started wearing makeup to begin with. Because like I was editing my photos too much.
Were you just like not comfortable in your body, or you just like, this is how I like the aesthetic of it?
I've always just been low-key into beauty and like modeling and like all that kind of stuff.
That's
weirdly
cool.
Not makeup per se, like it's not like I've grown up being into makeup weirdly, but I've always grown up being into like fashion, modeling.
I think it's really cool though. Like just like I enjoy talking to people who just stray from the norm. And like it sounds so cliche to say, but it's just so refreshing meeting people who are so in tune with who they are and who are thriving with who they are, and that's so important to me. Because for a while, even in high school, like I would like just in terms of like friend groups, I felt like I never fit into a certain friend group, and it's like after a while you kind of realize like you need to make your own path, and the right people will come into your life and be a part of your life, and then eventually you start to thrive, and it's like you realize that it's where you should have been all along, so. But no, it was really good, like just having this conversation with you, and like I said, this conversation was for people who do struggle with wanting to come out and be who they want to be, and like whether it's their sexuality or just like in terms of anything. And I'm really happy that you came on and were able to share with me your story and talk about that, and also talk about being an influencer, and so that is pretty cool too. Just the fact that you're able to. Become who, come out to be who you want to be, and it paid off for you. I think that's really cool. So I really appreciate having you on.
Thank you.
It was a really good conversation.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
And Kenny, I would love to have you collaborate with my friend Brittany. I think she would love to collaborate with you, and you can get your TikTok account going.
I'm trying to do TikTok.
Start getting that going, because people can get famous overnight on TikTok. It's a really big platform. Whether people like it or not, it's you can post anything on there and it can just go off instantly. So, but yeah, I hope to collaborate again in the future. I would love to. Definitely educate myself more on the LGBTQ community and kind of get a better understanding. And just for the people who, like I said, like this is just a super important episode to me, because I know a lot of people who are afraid to just like more recently, people like I know some people I know who came out of the closet, and it's so nice for me. I just love people who thrive with who they are, and the seeing people like closed off and not feel beautiful or not feel like they are who they should be. It's just so nice to talk to somebody who is who they want to be unapologetically, and have the right people around them, and don't give a shit if people care or not. So it was really nice to have you on, Kenny, and and it was a good conversation.
Thank you.
Of course. And so this is episode 25 of The Loft. I'm Kevin Nichols. That's Kenny Screven. Screven. And peace, guys. See ya.